Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Invictus Racing League Tier 3, brought to you in partnership with Gridfinder. Tonight we are joined with Ewan. How are you, Ewan?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Tonight it is the Dutch Grand Prix, a track that has not been raced much recently, but has made a bit of a resurgence in the last couple of years, probably many thanks to a certain Red Bull driver, help keeping it on the calendar for the next few years, I would assume. On the note of keeping tracks on the calendar, the Baku race after last week I saw was extended to 2026, so that's good news.
Yeah, it is a nice track, Baku.
Yeah, it's an enjoyable one. It is a street circuit, and we're getting more and more street circuits. But I find it's somewhat a little bit different. I don't know what it is about Baku. It is a street circuit, but it's got that nice long straight, and a lot of street circuits, a bit like Monaco. You just have those horrible windy corners, a bit like Jeddah, other than the bit of a straight there as well. There's really difficult, tough corners, and sometimes the street circuits are not too enjoyable. Baku always brings out the interesting ones.
Isn't isn't Australia a street circuit as well?
Yeah, it is technically a street circuit. I think half of it's sort of on the roads and half of it's not. It's a weird one. Just a moment, Ewan. Someone's commented that there's no sound. Let me just check this out.
Okay.
If you can hear me twice, I apologise for a second. If you can hear me twice, I apologise. Seems to be sound for me. Let me just change my audio mix a bit, just in case the game sounds a little bit quiet, and that's what they're saying. All they can hear is my big mouth. There you go. The game sounds certainly a lot louder now for me.
Tom Toby now, well, I say started his outlap, his first time lap. He is in Sector 2 and starting the second DRS zone. First DRS zone. I got my ones mixed up. And he's gone purple through Sector 2 as well. Obviously, because he's the first one through. I don't know why I'm saying it like it's a...
He's the first man on a lap here. See what kind of benchmark he's going to set then, because I really am not too sure what kind of times people are going to be setting around here. Bontobi then with a 112, almost flat, so let's see how that compares to a few others. Got a couple of people coming up to the line here. Mikey. Trems has managed to get himself back into the session. Let's see. Could be rain in the second half of the race. Sorry, Mikey's just doing his... he's doing his... he just started his lap, sorry. He was doing his out lap. I thought he was on a flying lap. Let's see then. Sam Flan over the line. What time's it going to be? A 1:12.1. Very, very close then for the front two. It could be maybe the 1:12 flat then for LDR Gamer. Could be that these are actually some decent times already then, Ewan.
Yeah. But that is just what happens, isn't it?
Yeah, some of these drivers are ever so close together.
Oh yeah, it's lovely. It's brilliant, all of them being so close. But then, as soon as you get outside maybe the top five, you then start that, not in qualifying but in the race, that's when you start to see your gaps, and normally the top five are usually the same, bar a few mistakes.
Yeah, it is often the case, but we'll have to wait and see. Something I've picked up really from qualifying is it seems to be a very ERS heavy track, so that could be something to watch out for in the race, so as to not waste all that battery. It looks like it's not going to be much recharging going on, so it could make for some interesting racing.
Yeah, it's like Mikey just then. He's just done the whole lap, and he's already down to 4%.
Yeah, literally Darryl is coming over the line now then with a 1:12.089, and he has 6% as he gets into the braking zone of turn 1. So really there is not a lot of margin for battery life around here. If you mess up a lap, unless it's right at the beginning, it's really game over then. Let's see where Bruce Lee can get that Aston Martin. Can he beat his teammate? He can. In fact, he goes quickest. He beats everybody with a 1:11.9. Not too much quicker than the original provisional pole, but a good time from Bruce, and he'll be happy with that one.
And I suppose he's in the game.
Just but it is in the pits, I'm not too sure why. Sab then up into P7, and that is everybody bar the back two who set their times. I don't know if Spud's had a couple of issues. Trems, I know, was having issues connecting, although he will be out on the track now. For those of you watching at home, Kurt has unfortunately got a qualifying ban after an incident which we didn't catch on stream last week, where he caught JP, who actually could not attend tonight as he is busy with the UK's bank holidays. Actually, I say UK. I think he's Irish, so he might kill me for that one. But with the bank holidays on this Monday, he unfortunately can't race tonight. So it would just be Nitro Gash in the McLaren, and usually they're a strong team, so that would definitely be a man to be missed tonight.
Yeah, wasn't he on podium last week?
He was indeed, yeah, back-to-back podiums. He came second in Jeddah after that pedal failure, and then he came, I think it was second again, yeah, or was it third last week? I think it was third. He had an alternate strategy, but the safety car kind of got a bit in the way. He made a comeback, but couldn't quite get all the way back. And then should be coming into the pits. Yeah, he is indeed. Just Trem's out for the moment then. Sam Flan, his teammate, is also just starting to crawl out of the pits as well. Just the two Alpine drivers for now on track. Quite a short track round here, Ewan, so they don't need to get in and rush back out again. A nice, just over 1 minute 10 lap. As Trems is actually coming into the pits. Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Not too sure what that's all about, but never mind.
I think maybe a setup issue.
Well, I hope not, because he can't change it now once he's left the pits.
Oh yeah, it's qualifying, isn't it? Yeah, we don't need practice though.
Samplan
On
then,
Tony goes on
sorry.
No, I was just going to say he's going on his outlap.
Samplan, he's on 70% ERS already, and he's only just started his lap. I wonder if he forgot to set that to none on his outlap, and he might run out of ERS here, out of energy. And that would definitely hamper his speed on that straight at the end. He has gone quickest in the first sector though. A very technical first sector around the Zandvoort track. A lot of braking points to hit or miss. And some heavy traction zones. So how's he going to take this one? Obviously the banked curve of turn 4, I think it is a very interesting one. Several lines you can take through there. You can sort of go for the up and over or keep it low and go for the better exit. It's interesting in the race to see how people decide to take those. But not the fastest second sector for Sam Flan. He's in 4th at the moment. If you're looking to improve, he will get a nice toe down the straight from the Aston ahead. So let's see what sort of time he can set then. Can he jump himself a little bit higher? He does. He moves up 1 position ahead of Darryl Whiffen into 3rd place. But that margin is very, very close at the front. Just a 10th between sort of the 3 drivers there, 2nd, 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, and the pole position could change here as LDR is currently just finished sector 2. 2 tenths faster than his fastest, which is 700 as he comes down the start finish. It is 1:11.773, and he goes 1.5 tenths faster than the Aston Martin of Bruce Lee. Divisional pole so far for AlphaTauri.
A brilliant time from earlier. I thought he was going to run out of battery at the end there.
He started on 75%.
He came over the line on about 5. I wonder if that affected his straight line speed. Atsu then, he's just finished his lap actually. But the other Ferrari's coming over the line now. Joseph Grima up into P8 then. Halfway up the field, not too bad. Got a couple more drivers making their way around the last corner. Sam Flan looking to improve. Oh, he should be on an... Is he on an in lap here? He's on an in lap, sorry, that's my bad. Bontobi then about to come over the line. He's currently P7. And he goes quickest by the smallest of margins, a 1:11.750. A brilliant time from himself. A couple of drivers moving their way up there, and off thread up into 7th place. I think that's Darryl about to come over the line. He's gone into the pits. He invalidated his lap there. I think I saw a bit of red as I went across to him. We got Sab about to start his lap, and JPH also about to start his lap. They're very close together, those two. Well, JPH is on an in lap. We've done a double warm-up even. A double warm-up for the Aston, Ewan. A double warm-up, it can sometimes work quite nicely, so this will be an interesting time to watch.
Yeah, you'll have warmer tyres, but again, that's just a long time to store the ERS. Yeah, I think when I saw him, it was on 75%. So you're seeing from most of them.
I think on his outlaps he would have just put the ERS off, turn it off, and just disabled it, so they didn't obviously burn and waste through it. My only concern here is Sab is very close to the back of JPH here, both on a hot lap, and no one's obliged to get out of the way if they're on a flying lap, so those two might be a little bit too close together, and that might hamper Sab's lap time here. As Nitro Gash goes quickest then, a 1:11.6. I missed that one, apologies to him. But he sees himself the fastest on the track at the moment.
I was going to say LDRs was quick and it's going to be hard to beat. But
when you think you're there, when you think you're the quickest, there's always somebody quicker. JPH has gone in there, and we did see Sab was gaining on him, and he's found himself up into P5 then. A brilliant time from Sab. Maybe the car ahead didn't hamper him as much as I thought it was going to. We have Trebs, who's currently facing the wrong way, and that was a flying lap. He's going to have to come back in the pits again and really push on his final attempt, because he's yet to set a time.
Says Samflan's on an outlap, but he's on 16% ERS.
Samflan?
Yeah.
So he's on 100 for me. Good evening, Ivan.
He's 25.
No, he's got 87%.
Weird.
He's okay.
Weird.
Ivan is a driver in Tier 2. We will be having a watch of him tomorrow night. Currently, I think he might even be leading the championship, or certainly close to, if he's not. Samfran then, looking to climb up the leaderboards. He only needs to find a few attempts and he can jump some incredible positions here. He did pop in to let us know that it was going to be a wet race, and he is a 10th quicker than his fastest time, and in fact the fastest time so far in that first sector. We've seen him impressive over that first sector. He set a purple sector on several times, and I'm just sort of wondering if he's using too much of those tyres in the first sector, trying to carry as much momentum around those first few windy corners, and it's hampering him towards the end of the lap, because as he comes over the second sector time, he's gone faster again even, 2 tenths then. Needs to find another tenth to beat that time of Nitro Gash, a 1:11.6. Let's see if he's got what it takes. 2 more corners, a difficult corner, easy to spin, as we saw Trems did exactly that. But Samflan's going to keep his foot down and not spin the car. ERS at a minimum, but that doesn't matter because he's about to come over the line, and he will jump to P5 then. In the end, he lost a bit of time in that third sector, and he didn't go as far up as I thought he was going to, Ewan.
Yeah, I think that might have been a lack of ERS, to be honest with you, because that did look flawless to me. I don't think I really saw him put a wheel wrong.
Yeah, he was on sort of 4 or 5%. I don't know if he made a little bit of a mistake in that right-hander before the final corner, but maybe not.
Oh, Ferrari. Think of Mikey. No, is Mikey in the Ferrari? I can't tell who's in the Ferrari. Anyway, someone spun. It might have been Apsy. I'm not sure. But someone in the Ferrari. I saw a Ferrari in the gravel, and you don't see names. So, yeah.
No, I didn't see who it was. But then we got Mikey starting a lap in the Alfa Romeo.
He's coming around the final corner, trying to climb. Oh no, he's gone in. Why does this always happen?
He's done that twice now. Gone in, not to the lap. Martin in the chat thought it was sprint tonight. It is a sprint around Monza next week, Martin. Just a normal standard weekend for, well, evening should I say, for Invictus Racing League around the Netherlands. One race around here is plenty. I think I could keep the sanity of doing 2.
I don't think I've heard Tier 3 be, or seen it be a normal standard yet.
Mikey then, the fastest second sector. 4 attempts up on his time, so that quite possibly could be the fastest sector. I don't know whether he had a poor first sector. He's had a bit of a snap
and
there in the
Daryl's fun! Sorry, I was watching Daryl, and he set purple sector 1. And he was looking on course to climb, and he spun it into the wall. He's fine now. But oh dear.
Disaster for the Williams, and he's gonna have to just. He's gonna go for another lap here. I think he hasn't got time to go in and back out. So he's gonna have to go again. He's all the way down in P7. He had a good first lap, so you like to think he can improve on that one, but he's just not. I don't think he's gonna have the ERS for this. Disaster then for the Williams car. Mikey's retired on the track. That is a crash. Almost across the track. Sab's luckily managed to avoid that one, and that will be the end of the qualifying session for Mikey. Sir Spud has decided he was not able to set a time. I don't know if he just having a bit of fun or what.
And LDR just done the same thing.
In the exact same place. Was that trying to avoid Mikey, or that was just a wheel
I'm not
launch?
sure, but he's just spun.
Yellow flags everywhere then.
Like a record. Oh, and he's done it again.
Oh dear. It's always the issue.
3 corners.
It's always the problem. You spin once and you just keep spinning again. Darrell has gone for a second final lap, but he's out of VRS and he's not going to go any quicker, I'm afraid. So we will look elsewhere. Got Trems coming over the line, then he's eventually going to set a time. Where's he going to jump to? P7. A 1:12, a brilliant time for himself, but the field is so close together at the moment. Got Bruce Lee starting a lap, as well as the Ferrari behind him, very close behind him. Hopefully they don't get in the way of one another. Darrell coming towards the end, and yeah, he's harvested some battery. He's obviously not going to be setting a time here. LDR Gamer with his 2 spins, that will be the end for himself as well. We got Nitro Gash then on the flying lap, coming around the final corner. Can he go any quicker than 1:11.6? He does. He goes half a tenth quicker, and that will be provisional pole for now. We've got a few more to come over the line yet. Bontobi in second place. Can he beat the time of Nitro? No, he can't. He will stay in P2. We got Joseph Green McCone into the pits. He will not be setting another time. Officer Ed then on the final corner. He's got some time to make up here. He jumps himself up into P4. A brilliant time for him himself. Sab then next to come around the final corner with an Aston Martin behind him. They didn't get in the way of one another. Sab does jump himself to P2. A brilliant time from Sab. Is JPH going to improve on P13? He's not. He's had a mistake somewhere, and that will be the end of qualifying for himself. Trems is coming in. He's set a time already. We got Atsu coming around the final corner, but it looks like he won't be going any quicker either. So it's just Bruce Lee Hardin then in P7, but I don't think he's going much quicker either. He's not indeed, and that will be the end of qualifying then. Pole for the McLaren and Nitro Gash. There may be one of them, but he's on the top step. A brilliant time, Ewan, a 1:11.5, a couple of attempts quicker than everybody else, and the grid there, 1:11.7 seems to be sort of the best time other than himself. 3 of them in that same time, and the rest not far behind at all.
Just shows how good of a lap that was.
The thing is, the shorter the lap, the closer the lap times. And it's definitely shown here, but let's run through the grid order for tonight's race. Around the Dutch Grand Prix, we got Nitro on pole. He doesn't have a teammate, but he's top of the step. Sab in second place with a brilliant time, hoping he can get a good finish tonight. Bontobi in third place in the Red Bull, just himself. LDR Gamer in fourth in the AlphaTauri. Officer Red fifth in the Haas. The leader of the 2 Ferraris, Joseph Grima, in P6. The leader of the 2 Aston Martins in P7 with Sam Flan just behind him. Alongside his teammate Trems J. We have Darrell in P10 after a couple of mistakes in qualifying and a spin which Ewan call. Atsu in P11 then, the rear of the 2 Ferraris, and the Alfa Romeo of Mikey in 12th place. And the slowest driver on the grid tonight, Ewan, JPH.
Wow.
An interesting one. Now, JPH is known a little bit for being a bit of a race merchant. He's never been the quickest in qualifying, but he drives good, clean, consistent laps to climb himself up the field and take usually a good finish, quite often in the top 5, but it's going to be a big ask for him tonight.
Race merchant.
Indeed,
That's
you
a
hear a
new
lot.
one.
Usually, the term you hear more often is a quali merchant, but for himself, it's the other way around. So, strategy around the Dutch Grand Prix. It's going to be a one-stop, I'd imagine. It's just whether people decide to start on the medium tyres or the hard tyres. Now, the
Did you
mediums.
say so?
Go on.
Is it a 72 lap one?
I think the standard is 72, so we'll be doing. Well, it's 50%, isn't it? So we'll be doing 35 laps, I'd imagine, around here. It's a quick lap, so that makes sense. Or maybe 36 even. That's really bad maths. 36 laps. That seems like a lot. Let's wait and see. Either way, a one-stop is most likely going to be the preferred option. But I did get news from a certain somebody that there could be rain in the second half of this race. So I think we're going to see a lot of drivers on the hard tyres, unless the rain's going to come about halfway through, trying to take those dry tyres all the way until the crossover point. And then it's when do you go in for the intermediate tyres? Do you wait until the DRS is disabled? Because then usually it's wet enough. The FIA decided that it's too wet to race safely with the DRS. And usually that means it's about time for the inters, or do you gamble and go a little bit early? Depends what you've got to lose in the race.
I think if it was the other way, you'd want to go early. Try and get the undercut. You know, the others are on the slower tyres. But if it's,
Yeah, well,
if it's starting to get wet, would you rather the grip?
well, that's the thing. You sort of, if it's starting to get wet and you go too early and it's just not ready for those intermediate tyres, and you lose all the time that you gain from that undercut, it's a really risky game in the wet. Most people will play it safe and they will pit after the DRS is disabled. That's sort of a surefire point to come into the pits. But I'm sure there will be a gambler in the field, and it will be interesting to see who will take that gamble and pit a lap earlier than everybody else. Time to DNF, says Daryl. Time will tell. If you're watching, Daryl, do you have any sort of insight on when the rain's expected to come? He might just have the stream open but muted, that's fine. We'll see. 2 minutes then to decide your strategy, how much fuel you'd like to take. Obviously in the wet you use a little bit less, so drivers will be, on the whole, carrying a little bit less fuel, you'd imagine, so they'll be quicker off the lines. So we're going to have to keep our eyes open, Ewan, for any lap 1 incidents. Just after lap 22. Okay, perfect. So that would suggest to me then, Ewan, hard tyres.
Then intermediates.
Then into intermediates, yeah. Let's see what the grid decides. I'm expecting a whole field on the hard tyres here. Oh, goes to rain, but then possibly dry again. It's going to be interesting then. Maybe no pits at all. Let's see what people decide to pick. As the driver is about to line up onto the grid then, we see the McLaren take on to the first place. 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. I've got no game sound, but away we go then. Nitrogash getting the best start out of the 2 drivers. Sav is falling a little bit behind, and he's going to have the Red Bull come up alongside him, but he does take 2nd place. The Red Bull, in fact, is actually going to struggle. LDR Gamer, after the spinning qualifying, is going to make up that position, but he does lose it straight back away. A little bit of tussling in 5th and 6th, but so far, the Red Bull going onto the grass here. This is going to cause some damage to the house behind. Officer Red, I think, has picked up some wing damage there, and there's a bit of chaos into the 4th corner. 2 wide down here. It's never going to end well. The Red Bull and, I can't see who that is, the Ferrari alongside him, Joseph Grima. Let's just hope they avoid each other. And it doesn't end in contact, a little bit of contact with the Aston Martin, and that Red Bull is really struggling off the line today. We do have a spin at the back. Mikey has gone around, but he's managed to keep the car going, unlike in qualifying. Bontobi then, and he's really came off second best here from the start of the race. The Haas has picked up some damage and he's losing positions here. I wonder if it's down to that. I did see a bit of, I think it was his end plate missing. Came off when he made contact with the back of Bontobi. As you can see, yeah, his right hand end plate is missing off the front of the car, and it does seem to be hampering him a little bit, and hopefully, I think he's going to have to go into the pits here. He's going to carry on.
The moves were made down the start finish straight. Sam Flung climbing above Atsu. Atsu going round. Yep, Atsu going round the outside.
Oh, contact! There's a big crash! Trems and JPH, I was on board with that one, and Trems just closed the gap on the Aston Martin, and I really think that one was a little bit self-inflicted. And we will have a safety car in lap 2. Trems J is out of the race. A week to forget for him. He had a miserable qualifying, and the race has not gone a whole lot better. Well. Sorry to interrupt you there, and I was on board with that one, and I really saw it coming. The Aston's going to have to go in and change his front wing now.
I did not see that. I have no idea what's happened. So JPH's pit stop strategy could be halted here and tampered with.
Yeah, pitting on lap.
Pit early.
Yeah, pitting on lap 2 was not going to be in his plans, I'd imagine. He can't go onto the hards either. He's going to have to go onto the mediums. I didn't take a look at what tyres people were running. Let's have a little look now while we got some time. We have a little bit of a split here then. The front two, a couple going in the pits. Officer Red is going to be ditching that damage he picked up, I don't doubt. Sam Flan, I don't know if he has any damage. Let's see if they change that front wing. No, he just wants to get off those tyres. An interesting one then, onto the mediums. Oh, he has got a wing change. That'll be why. So a very big split across the field then, Ewan, of tyre choices.
Yeah, I think they expected the safety car a little bit later than that.
Yeah, it's definitely too early for anyone to pit.
Yeah, I think they're also hoping for a bit of an earlier rain than scheduled.
Yeah, an interesting one. We'll have to see. A few people are saying that the rain is only meant to be here for a little while, so maybe the track won't even get wet enough for the wet tyres, or the intermediates, should I say. We'll have to wait and see.
First, second lap DNF.
Never
first lap?
Second lap. Literally the beginning of the second lap. Before turn... It was a turn 2 on the second lap.
Wow.
The road sort of... It kinks a little bit to the right. There's a big curb on the inside left. And then it curves to the left, and Trem sort of just comes right across the Aston. And really JPH has absolutely nowhere to go, and it puts Trem straight into the wall, and JPH picks up a significant amount of damage as well, but luckily only to the front wing, so he can get that one repaired and get going and it not affect the rest of his race too much.
We're having another lap under the safety car.
Yeah, just a couple more drivers then to catch up the field, those who had to change their front wing. The 3 of them at the back then on the medium tyres. We'll take one more tour then of the track under that safety car. The nice bright red Mercedes around the Dutch Grand Prix rather than the green Aston. It's a lovely car, isn't it, Ewan?
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind myself one of them, that's for sure.
Is it same driver?
Yeah, same driver, just a different car. Bert Mylander in the safety car.
Arncho is already I know it's under a safety car, but there's some considerable gaps going between the first four, and I'd even go as far as the first five, you know, first seven up to Darrell. You know, they're all at least half a second away from each other.
Yeah, it's always an interesting one. People have different rituals almost when they're starting when the safety car's coming in. You've got to get the warmth into the tyres. Do you wiggle around a little bit and get that warmth from tyres? Do you try and anticipate when the front runner's going to go? A little bit like Carlos Sainz tried on Sunday. It's hit and miss. I like to sort of not really wiggle around too much in the last couple of corners and try and guess when Nitro's going to go. But he is going to go early before the last corner. Sorry, in the second to last corner, a long right curve. He's to lose the car there, but he doesn't, and that's a brilliant start then from the McLaren driver. And there is disaster at the back of the field. I said it was easy to spin in the corner, and Darrell has done exactly that. And I can see front wing on the track, so he's going to be coming into the pits. Not a good day for the Williams driver. They're making a move after changing that front wing on Sir Spud, and Sir Spud's going to have the Alpine, of Sam Flan alongside him. This is going to be tight. It looks like that Sir Spud's going to back out of that one and keep his nose intact, and I think that might be the smart move here. As the Aston is looking up the back of the Mercedes driver, who's falling right down the field. A little bit of DRS. He's going to be deep into the corner, but he gets it stopped in time. And the Mercedes will last another couple of corners just yet, unless JPH can go all the way around the outside, and he does exactly that. A little bit of a twitch from Sir Spud, and that will allow the Aston through on the Mercedes driver.
Yeah, some good racing.
Some good racing indeed. And looking to the front of the field, Ewan, Nitro is looking really quick here. He's pulled a second gap here, although he's not got the straight line speed by the looks of it. He's gone for higher downforce and less straight line speed. Let's see how that will affect him across the race, as Sab gained almost 4 or 5 tenths on the straight line, and that's before DRS is even enabled.
Yeah, I think this could be a little bit dangerous for Nitro, but Nitro going around them corners.
Mikey again having a little bit of a moment.
Towards the end of sector 1, he's looking quick there. It's just elsewhere. I don't know whether it's a setup issue or the fact that he's just a little bit too heavy on the brakes.
I think he's got to have a higher downforce because he's flying through sector 1 and sector 2, but as soon as they get to the straights it all goes wrong. But I think there's a spin there for Kerr. There is indeed. He's in the grass, and that will not be what he wanted after a qualifying ban. I don't know if he has any damage. I can't see the front wing, but he's struggling to get that car turned round. Back to the front then. Let's see this gap. 0.87 between the two drivers as they approach the straight. No DRS still. And look at that. 3 tenths Saba's gaining on the... almost 4 tenths as they get into the braking zone. Saba's gaining on that McLaren driver, and I really think it is a setup thing, Ewan. JPH in the pits again. He must have picked up some damage. I missed that one on stream. Yeah, no front wing. I don't know what's happened there. I hope it's not contact with Kerr rejoining the track again, but he's in the pits for another front wing.
This day's gone from bad to worse.
Yeah, really struggling. He's going to be hoping for a second safety car then. Darrell setting the fastest time, a 1:14.6 on the medium tyres.
Wow.
Got to take those little wins where you can if you're at the back of the field.
And he's catching JPH.
He is catching JPH, although JPH has just had to pit obviously for a front wing, so maybe they're giving him something to battle for here. Nitro then pulling out a 2.5 seconds. And Sab will not have that DRS on the straight line. So much to Nitro's relief, I'd imagine. This is just going to be a gap then that he's got to manage for the rest of the race, depending on what happens. But it looks like he's got it covered really. The first two sectors he can really pull a big enough gap to take a big enough lead so that that straight line speed doesn't affect him too much.
The issue with Zandvoort is that there's just not enough technical turns, you know. They are allowed, you know, they're going to be difficult for one to catch up with another.
It is. It's a weird track in Zandvoort. There's sort of it's a lot of medium speed sweeping corners, a lot of blind apexes. It's a really weird track, and technicalities do sort of play a part in the race. And strategy, but the setup is a big determining factor, as Sab is going to really be looking backwards rather than forwards then down the start and finish straight. He's used all his battery. You can see that from the blinking red lights, but he's still quicker than LDR Gamer on the straight. He's really got that car set up for straight line speed. He must have identified where he's really struggling and doubled down on that straight line speed. Toby then looking to climb his way up the field after the poor start to the race. He was obviously P3 when he started, but he's all the way down. Well, I say all the way down. He's lost a few positions. He's got himself back up to P5 now. As Darryl sets the fastest lap again, still on the tail of JPH.
I'm setting faster lap, but he's just not catching anyone.
No, that pit stop will be partly to blame for that one, you like to think. But he is catching the back of JPH, just 7 tenths between the two of them. But the battle we're watching on the screen at the moment, Bon Toby and Joseph Greamer. Bon Toby is gonna have the DRS into the start finish straight. See who's got the faster straight line speed. Is it the Red Bull or is it the Ferrari? The DRS is wide open, but he's really just not gaining on the Ferrari at all. So that DRS zone, it seems to be really weak, Ewan.
Yeah. But I think also Bon Toby has a bit of an issue here, because although he does need to look forward and try to battle Joseph for fourth place, he's also got Bruce Lee on his tail, and Bruce Lee is a very good driver. He can take you like there's no tomorrow and make the smallest gap the biggest gap in the world.
Yeah, he is quicker than Aston, but the other Aston may be a little bit quicker. He's just set the fastest lap as JPH. And when Darryl thought he was going to be catching someone and getting a bit of action, JPH was having none of it.
It looks like they're having a bit of fun at the back.
And we've had a spin, a crash even for car, and that will be the safety car that JPH was hoping for. I didn't see what happened there. I don't know if you saw that one, Ewan, but he's definitely off the track at the exit of turn 4 on the left-hand side.
I don't know. I have no idea. I just saw his name go to DNA. Looks like he's in the wall.
Let's see if we can get a view of it. Oh, it's gone.
He from the view I had, it looks like he's taken that corner wide, and as he's come in, he's either nicked the curb or all the back's gone out, and he's just sent it in, because it doesn't look like it's a proper spin, if you know what I mean.
Yes, it's a bit of a weird place to have a crash on the left there into turn 4. Turn 3 is the is that angled hairpin, not turn 4, sorry. And it's a really weird place unless he's really battling the car up out of the hairpin at turn 3, and it never really gets the car fully under control and just sort of keeps battling and battling and battling until it does eventually go round. I don't really see what else could have happened there.
No, but Nitro with a bit of a risk.
Yeah, into the pits, an interesting one. 4 drivers then staying out for now. Darryl stayed out, but he did also pit early with that damage he picked up from the spin after the safety car. But this could really be interesting. And the top 4 staying out, 3 of them on hards, 1 on the medium, so he's not going to be able to go for too long. You got to wonder, Ewan, are they waiting for the rain, or have they made a poor mistake here?
Was that a pit from Nitro? Because he's already 2 seconds behind.
Yeah, it was definitely a pit from Nitro Gash. He was quite far ahead of the drivers that stayed out, so that's why he caught back up quite quickly.
There you go. Like, he's managed to get such a big gap, and he's managed to capitalise. I'm surprised none of the top 4 have followed suit. Really.
Well, I think everyone in the top 4 did pit. Nitro went in, Sab went in, Joseph Green was right behind him. Bontobi, I think, an LDR gamer stayed out. Bontobi was 5th. Yeah. So the top 3 appeared.
I meant the current top 4.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm quite surprised they've stayed out as well. Especially those on the hard tyres, it's going to be too early to come onto the mediums to run onto the end. So I understand why they've stayed out, but that Office Red on the mediums, there ain't no way he's taking them to the end. But he would have been near the back of the field, so he's obviously gone for track position here. Hoping for a bit of rain and everyone to go on to the intermediate, so he's got a little bit of a gamble and kind of nothing to lose because he was near the back.
Oh, and he spun it! He spun it into the wall!
Oh dear. We were just talking about him.
I was just about to say he's taken a corner incredibly wide. And he's sent it into the corner. The track position isn't really what he wanted, I guess, because he's just thrown it away.
Dear, oh dear. And imagine... Yep.
Go on.
Safety car's in. Deary me. Restart then from the AlphaTauri LDR gamer. See how he's going to take this one. Nitrogash went really early through turn 8. Through turn 13. Let's see what the AlphaTauri is going to do. Is he going to go in the same place? He's not gone yet. No, he's going to wait. It's a long old straight. There we go. He's going to go now in the middle of the 2 corners. Oh, and Bruce Lee has really got the jump on the Red Bull. And this could be P2 then for the Aston Martin down into turn 1. And he is ahead off the Red Bull. He did make that overtake after the line, but he went a bit wide, and that will allow Bontobi back through, but a mistake from Bontobi, and that will give Bruce then P2 in the Aston Martin. Mikey overtaking the Ferrari of Atsu. All the while, LDR Gamer has pulled out a second gap already at the front, and those 2 battling has not helped anybody. Daryl and JPH going side by side. No contact between the 2, and Daryl will get the position, but there's a big spin, and that is Sam Fan out of the race. A couple caught up in that one. Daryl, one of them, and Mikey as well, and that will be another retirement. I'm wondering if the safety car is going to come back out, Ewan. It doesn't look like it.
What happened?
A lot. I don't really know. Mikey's in the wall. Sam Fan is out of the race. Daryl got caught up in it as well. I don't know if he picked up any damage, but a lot happened in really a very small space of time. And Daryl looks really slow, and the safety car is going to come out then. Wow, wow, wow. What drama. I saw JPH and Daryl 2 wide, but I don't think that had anything to do with the incident. And that will be a 3rd safety car in just 13 laps.
Wow.
All the while, Office Red is very happy about this one. I wonder how many are going to pit here. I would imagine not too many. Some of the front drivers are going to come in. Bontobi getting off the hard. He's fed into the pit lane. Not what you want to see, and he will be coming to the pits. And a few at the back. Intermediate tyres then for Bontobi. This could be interesting. It doesn't look... I haven't seen any rain yet, have you?
No. You can...
JPH on the inters.
There is rain.
There is rain. There is a little bit of rain. And I don't know how long you've been playing the games for, Ewan. But Bontobi with that Atsu 5-second penalty for ignoring the yellow flags, that one might get removed. I don't know how much you played this game, Ewan, but there's kind of a little bit of the thing where if rain comes out and there is a safety car, the track gets wet very, very quickly. Daryl on the medium tyres.
Someone knows their stuff, clearly.
Two gamblers then. Bontobi in the Red Bull, JPH in the Aston, both on the intermediate tyres. Will the rain stay out long enough to really benefit these two drivers, or will it just be a short stint of the rain? Not even halfway through the race yet. The rains obviously came earlier due to the two safety cars that we've had, and this is going to be really interesting to see how this one will pan out. Will any more drivers dart into the pits for the Inters, or is JPH and Bontobi the only two risking track position for potentially a far quicker tyre? The safety car will start for one more lap, so it will give other drivers an opportunity to come in, but it really doesn't look very wet out there. I can't see any water on the track. I can't imagine drivers are going to come in here. I could be wrong, but I think they're going to stay out. We got a couple maybe darting in. No, they're just warming up their tyres. No one in for the Inters. Bruce is going to gamble then. Nope, sorry, that was JPH going back into the pits. He's obviously decided that it's not time for the intermediate tyres. Onto the softs he comes. They aren't going to last till the end of the race either. Mikey in the pits on the soft tyres are going a bit slow. I'm wondering if he's going to change for intermediate tyres, and really strategy splits all across the place. Inters it is for then Mikey. Bontobi stayed out on those intermediate tyres, and it just doesn't look wet enough yet. Well, we could be in for some drama here. We're going to have to keep an eye on Bontobi on the restart, because if it's too early for those Inters, he's going to really be struggling on them. JPH has decided that the softs are the better tyre to be on, and we know that the rain isn't meant to stay around for too long. This could be interesting. Bontobi with also the 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so if he does have to get off those intermediate tyres, he will have to serve that penalty. This could be interesting then. Two more drivers to catch up with the field before we see the safety car peel in and the race to get back underway, hopefully ready for lap 16. LDR will be the leading car again. Do you think it's too early, Ewan, for the intermediate tyres?
No, because I think he has gone for the undercut. Oh, that's a bit late.
Safety car will be coming in then.
No, but I was going to, literally, before I saw the rain, I was just going to say that, you know, the tracks, oh, nearly spun out there, but you can see all the tyre marks.
Yeah, but I think you can see them anyway in the dry. LDR's gone then. Bruce Lee Harding, he got a good start on the Red Bull in the first restart, and he's got a good start again here, but he doesn't quite have the straight line speed. One car into the pits, Sab then. Going into the pits, I don't know if he's putting on the intermediate tyres, but a little bit of understeer for Bruce. Bontobi is falling down the field here though, so maybe it's not quite time for those Inters, but contact! Oh, no. And that is the Aston Martin of JPH, and he's having a terrible time out here tonight. Him and the Mercedes, Sir Spud, have gone round. Sab and Darrell both putting on the intermediate tyres, but JPH, he just can't catch a break tonight.
No. Darrell and Sab just double stacked as well.
Yeah, onto the intermediate tyres. If it's the right call, then the double stack won't really matter too much. I don't know if it's a bit of miscommunication amongst the team. But I'm just keeping an eye on Mikey and Bontobi, and they aren't looking any slower than the cars ahead on those intermediate tyres. So maybe we are about to see the crossover. I think DRS is enabled at the moment. Maybe it's not. Oh no, hang on, sorry, the safety car's just been out, so it will be the DRS next lap. Let's see. A little bit of understeer for the Ferrari. I think they could be right here, Ewan. I think maybe the intermediate tyres are the correct tyres of choice. Bontobi's all over the back of Office Red. Let's see if LDR comes into the pits then. It is looking to get wetter. He's staying out. Bruce Lee Harding is also staying out. Nitrogash is staying out as well, as are the two Ferraris. Officer Red has decided it's time for the wet tyres. Mikey has came in. Again, I don't really know why, but Bontobi is looking quick on those intermediate tyres. And you're wondering if the drivers ahead staying out are just delaying the inevitable. Bontobi's getting a much better exit than the cars around him out of the corners, and you can see the darkening of that track, and it is getting wetter, but we've got a lot of people in the pits. It looks like people are opting to go on to the wet tyres. JPH should be kicking himself, really, for pitting and getting off those wet tyres, because it looked like the right call from Bontobi.
Yeah, the rain seems to be getting a lot heavier. And as I said, you know, it was a lot. The rain was coming a lot earlier than the lap 23 we were told.
Yeah, watching our Bobo Bontobi Atsu all over the place on those hard tyres. I suspect he'll be coming in, but the sky is looking really light. It's just a really bizarre one here. Are these drivers going to stay out on the dry tyres and hope that the likes of Bontobi cannot pull a big enough gap whilst it's still wet enough on those intermediate tyres, or are they all going to come into the pits?
Bontobi up to 4.
LDR Gamer, he has indeed. LDR Gamer staying out. Bruce Lee Hardin is also staying out, as is Nitrogash. They are really gambling then on the dry tyres. A split strategy for two Aston Martins.
Sorry, Bontobi in the last sector, plus down that start-finish straight, has gone from 6th to 3rd. What? I don't see why no one's took any notice. Well, I mean, Joseph Green and Atsu did. They could tell that he was very quick because they've already fit, and he's already taken Bruce Lee as well.
Yeah, Bontobi is looking really quick. Soon. Bruce is going to have to pit, as is LDR Gamer, because they are on 17 lap old hard tyres. I think they're going to be hoping, unless they're going to go to the end on the tyres. I'm not really 100% sure on the regulations here, Ewan, as to whether you can carry your hard tyres until the end if it's became a wet race, or you have to put on a set of the wet tyres to neutralise that forced pit stop. As I say that, McLaren has gone round it in with those hard tyres. It's really looking like time for the wet tyres then. Let's see what these front two runners are going to do. But like I was saying to you, do you think that they're going to go all the way to the end on those hard tyres if they're allowed?
No.
Bontobi is 6 seconds quicker.
He's just in a lap. He's just cut a 5-second gap.
Yeah, you've got to go in here. Bruce has got to be going into the pits, surely. He is indeed. LDR Gamer's just hanging himself out to dry. No pun intended in the rain. But that will be the lead then for Bontobi. He has a big gap behind him. And that 5-second penalty, maybe it was worth the cost.
But I can see why LDR is staying out. You know, he's got a 6-second gap from everyone else. If the rain does stop by lap 23, for example, you know, he could be in business.
You gotta wait for the track to dry, mine, still. Bruce has gone onto the softs. I think that was a mistake. I could be wrong, but I would not expected him to come in and pit for the softs. Look, 4 seconds is the gap at the front. LDR is really struggling, and as I say that, he's gone round, and obviously it was not the right call to stay out on track. He's reversing across the track. He's just smacked his rear wing, and now he's beached himself. Has he beached himself, or is he waiting? No, he's waiting, okay. I've got a slight concern he might have picked up some rear damage there as he slammed the wall as he was reversing back. But all of a sudden, Bontobi is 7.5 seconds clear at the front. And the two Williams who double stacked have really made the right call here, and they're 2nd and 4th.
And Office Red, who, although he pitted afterwards, was 3rd.
This is an absolutely crazy race. And I wonder if the rain will stop in time to throw a second spanner in the works. And it always goes to show that when you're near the back of the field, you can take a risk, you can take a gamble, and it really can pay off because you don't have anything to lose at the back of the field. Bruce Lee on the softs. I'm going to see if he's going to come in the pits here. There is no way he meant to get on them soft tyres, surely. It must have been a mistake with the pit crew. LDR's pitted for a new front wing, I'd imagine, along with a new set of tyres, and Bruce then will be coming into the pits. LDR's going to retire, in fact. He's had enough. He's going to call it quits then, LDR Gamer. I'm sure Bruce Lee will stay because it's going to be only 11 drivers left on the field. And you're going to pick up a point if anyone else crashes out, so it'll be silly to retire. But Bontobi, 8 seconds clear of Sab, who was at one point in second place himself. A yellow flag in, that's just the car coming out the pits. Stabbed them, no gain, no loss, even though he made a couple of gambles and maybe a mistake that I didn't see. He's 8 seconds off the lead, but he's in a good position now. Saudi R Gamer's car is just coming out. Yeah, Bruce is on those intermediate tyres, but that will be race ruined My only concern, Ewan, is the rain looks like it's slowing down.
I think Montoya's got a big enough lead to pit and stay first.
He's not far off, is he? He's looking very quick on those wet tyres. Those of them with the better downforce, well, the less downforce setups, could see that impact their pace in the rain. I don't really. I'm not too sure about the rest of the settings because I'm not really one that's too clued up about setups. But I know that knocking off a couple of front wing in the rain is ideal because you just oversteer everywhere in the rain. So a little bit less front wing can sort of help counteract that. But some setups are going to be a little bit more suited to the rain than the others, and I think that might be shown with Bontobi a 9-second gap, and no one's even catching Sab, so it's obviously just he's really quick.
Yeah, this is incredible from Bontobi.
He's really got the call correct. He pitted under that safety car, and you said he'd done the right call, and you're very much correct there, but I was a little bit doubtful of the driver. Maybe coming in a little bit too early. The safety car no doubt helped the rain, helped the track get wetter before he had to get some race pace, and he was a little bit slow off the line, but really by the halfway through the first lap after the safety car, it was getting ready for the intermediate tyres, and the DRS was never re-enabled, and that is a good way to tell that it is time for the intermediate tyres, and he's already made the right call there.
Yeah, he's now nearly 10 seconds ahead on lap 22.
He's looking really quick out there in the rain, and there is still some rain coming down, so it'll be a few more laps before they think about putting on some dry tyres.
I don't think we'll see a dry tyre until at least lap 30, to be quite honest. The rain's still going, then you've got to wait for the track to dry.
Yeah, and there's
the issue is...
Go on.
I'm sorry. The issue is that depending on where you are on the track, depends on how much rain you see. There are places in the track where it looks like there was absolutely no rain.
Yeah, there's certainly wetter parts, and the other thing they've got to consider is it's not very hot in the Netherlands. As we have a spin and a crash from Sir Spud, that might see a fourth safety car. It will be indeed. But what I was going to say, Ewan, is the air temperature and the climate in the Netherlands is not that warm. So the air temperature will not be too hot, and the track will dry quite slowly, sort of a little bit like Belgium, where you see the rain come down, and France, and you're just waiting for the track to dry up. Bruce is going to be thankful about this one. He can catch up to the back of the pack, but it's going to be a bit of a disappointment for Bontobi. He has a 13-second lead, but he's carrying a 5-second penalty, and that lead will be eradicated by this safety car.
JP, you're bidding. Don't retire until you're guaranteed points.
No, I think he's going to be strapping on a second set of intermediate tyres. He's got nothing to lose here. He might as well just take some fresher tyres. Bruce might even do the same. The Aston's pitted from almost last place, or sort of net last place, not including Bruce, and so he's not really got anything to lose.
Yes. This safety car is going to last a while, I think.
Yeah, Bruce has got a long way to catch up here, and if he does decide to pit, even further.
Bontobi is only 3 corners away from lapping Bruce. That is not what you expect to see.
No, the Astons they're usually pretty quick, pretty handy around sort of anything that's thrown out their way.
Yeah, for a team very much top 5 at least one of them every week, are currently 9th and 10th. And I think they'll be counting their lucky stars that Nitro Dash didn't keep his first place. Because I tell you now, if he'd have kept his first place, everything could be thrown into the balance.
Yeah, they will be glad about that indeed. Nitro down in P8, unfortunately for himself.
One Toby now, who's obviously, because of the safety car, has come off worse, I think.
Yeah, 100%. He had a 9-second gap to second place, and it's really costed him here. He's carrying a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and that could come back to haunt him at the end of the race. He sort of
it go down to 7th.
Yeah, he didn't have a very good start. He fell right down the order. He got caught up in a little bit of mischief. Officer Red lost his front wing on the back of Bontobi at the beginning of the race, so he's had a good effort to climb all the way back up to P3 as well. These two Astons are going to have to get a move on here. They're going to have to catch the safety car, and I wouldn't be surprised if the safety car comes in at the end of this lap, regardless of where the two Aston Martin cars are. It'll only stay out for so long. It won't wait until everybody's caught up if they take too long. And that is really what the two Astons do not want. JPH was with the lead runners. He pitted for that fresh set of intermediate tyres, but he will catch the pack. But Bruce Lee Harding, after his double pit stop he had to make because the mechanics put on the soft tyres, he might struggle to catch up here. Ricky Murray is saying the forecast is useless. We do have the forecast set to approximate, so you've got to be a bit wary when you see potential rain, and it's just getting harder, isn't it, Ewan?
Yeah, I think intermediates will be enough, won't they? They won't have to go to the wet compound.
Yeah, the inters will be fine. It's not like monsoon rain out there, but it certainly is not going to dry up before the end of the race, I don't think. What a drama-filled race. Is the safety car coming in? It's not. It's going to run another lap then, and that will give Bruce a chance to catch up, much to his relief. We had predicted rain around lap 21-22, Darryl said. 2 safety cars and then a third one as the rain came out sort of brought that a bit forward to sort of the 16, 17, 18 lap mark. I can't quite remember exactly when it was. In fact, the third safety car was lap 13, wasn't it? Now I think about it. So really, it did come quite early. A couple of cars pitting then. Joseph Greenman, Nitro Gash. Nitro's really not got much to lose. Another set of inters. Joseph Greenman's putting on the hard tyres, Ewan.
He knows something we don't.
Well, I'm a little bit baffled. Bruce has gone in again as well. Another set of inters. That one I'm not too surprised about, but Joseph Greenman on the hard tyres, that's got to be a mistake, surely.
Potentially, but also I think, as you said earlier, you're a back runner, you've got to take risks.
Yeah, but the rain hasn't even stopped yet. The shot here of the guy on the camera, on the crane, you can see the rain coming down like there's no tomorrow. I've got to suspect that was a mistake from the mechanics on the Ferrari car to chuck him on the hard tyres. Look how slow he is. He's got the McLaren all up behind him, wanting to catch up with the pack to get ready to go. Bruce is flying up behind the pair of them. The Ferrari almost gone off the track here, and they all just want to get on with the race. They're all going to be stuck behind the Ferrari on the safety car restart. Well, they both are, not all obviously, there's only 2 drivers, but those hard tyres, they are not the racing tyre. And Nitro is eager to get going.
It's not like Joseph Greenman can pull to one side, is it?
No, you can't give in positions under the safety car. Penalties will still be handed out either way. Let's get an eye to the front though. The restart, this is going to be a really key one here. I'm assuming he's going to wait late here. You don't want to go mid-corner in the rain. That is just a spell for disaster. Well, he's going to do exactly that. He's going to get on the ERS early. A little bit tentative on the throttle, but he's going to go. Second place is going to fall a little bit behind. Officer Ed looking for a move then, but... Oh, Darrell's made contact with the back of the Haas. Luckily he's not gone round there. Maybe some damage for the Williams. Oh, what happened there? Oh, and Officer Ed has almost lost it. Officer Ed has almost lost it, but he's managed to keep going. Wrongly given 5 seconds by a bug. That was for Atsu. Bontobi got a 5 second for an illegal for speeding in the pit lane, I thought. I could be wrong. Let's keep an eye on this one then. Officer Ed is kind of struggling, but Ewan, the rain has stopped. The rain has stopped. Joseph Grimm is on the hard tyres. He's losing time, but the rain has stopped.
Wow.
And you can see the sun peeping out from behind the clouds. There's 9 laps to go. Once they come over the line, this is going to be really interesting. I don't know if Joseph Groom is just going to lose too much time whilst it's wet, but the rain has stopped. Yeah, Atsu did serve Ricky, but unfortunately that 5 seconds will stand. And this could be really interesting towards the end of the race. Joseph Greenwood could be looking in his rears and laughing as they come over the last few corners. JPH then making a move. He's not had a good race, but he's up in the P6. Oh, let's say that there's a bit of contact with the Ferrari driver, but he keeps that position. And Nitro Gash and Bruce Lee going side by side where JPH had the crash with, I think it was Trems. They've both got through nicely this time, and the Aston's not been caught up. Joseph Greenwood onto the medium tyres. I really don't know what's going on now. He's going to lose too much time. He's going to lose too much time in the pits.
But he's a pit stop up. He's quicker on this lap. He'll be quicker on the next lap. And he's a pit stop up.
But he's 40 seconds behind now. He's almost a lap behind. 33 seconds. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be one to watch. But as it stands, they could all get in the pits and come out ahead of Joseph Greenwood, so he's going to have to hope for some serious pace here. And other drivers not cotton on, but I think he's made a wrong call here. He should have stayed on those hards and taken them to the end. Either way, though, there's plenty of battling going on towards the front of the grid. Officer Ed in the grass there almost, and Darrow is really all over the back of the Haas. Can he get a move down onto the start-finish straight then? Let's see, can Darrow get past the Haas? In the Williams car, can he make it to Williams on the podium for now? He's going to look to the inside here. No contact into turn 1 like last time. He's going to go for the inside line up on the curb. No spin, thankfully, and he's going to take that move, but Officer Ed will battle this one all the way down to the next corner, and he will keep that position for now then. Darrell just can't quite find a way past the Haas driver.
Yeah, and this is detrimental not only to the front, but also behind him. As Mikey is the same gap between the two of them.
Whoa! Side by side, the Haas and Darrell is through. Darrell is through. The Haas is really struggling on the intermediate tyres, and that will see the Williams through. It's a Williams 2-3, a bit of contact then. Officer Ed off the track into the grass, and it's going from bad to worse for the Haas. He was given no space there by Mikey, and the stewards might have to have a look at that one. But drama is really unfolding in the last 10 laps of the Dutch Grand Prix.
I was going to say, he did look like he got a bit bullied there, both by Darrell and Mikey.
Yeah, I think
JPH was able to sneak in.
Yeah, I think sort of Darrell really didn't do too much wrong. He sort of snuck past when the Haas went really wide. But I would have to see it again. But Mikey just sort of held him on the outside and gave him really nowhere to go. All the while, JPH in the Aston Martin, after all the well, not even mistakes, all the terrible fortune he's had. Whoa, contact and almost the Aston Martin upside down. Atsu and Bruce Lee getting caught up at turn 1. And I thought Atsu was going to go straight underneath the Aston Martin. And just as we're praising one Aston, the other one's getting caught up in a load of mischief.
Yeah, it's just a shame, really. He's tried so hard to get up the grid, and he's just been pegged back and back and back.
There is so much going on, but that track is definitely looking drier. The time's not quite showing from Joseph Greener yet, but I can start to see a few tyre marks, and I think there's a little bit of a dry line coming. The game doesn't really show a dry line very well, But I would think if this was real life, there would be a dry line starting to appear on the track. It almost looks dry on the straight, Ewan. This could be really interesting for the next 6 laps. That might be why there's a little bit of contact going on. People are struggling to find the grip on the intermediate tyres as it gets dry. Joseph Grima has found half a second. I think the track might be starting to dry here. The question is, the driver's going to stay out for now. They are. Darrell's coming in the pits then, in the Williams. Darrell is coming in the pits. And there's a few drivers behind. They've seen Darrell go in, and I think they've thought it's the best call. Joseph Grima has gained 2 seconds since I made the call. Bontobi then out in front. He's going to have to serve a 5-second penalty if he pits. A few drivers coming onto the soft tyres, and this is going to be really interesting coming into the end of the race.
I think Bontobi's going to stay out. I think that's his only hope of keeping that 5-second lead.
Bontobi is going to have to stay out. He doesn't have a choice now. If he pits, he's going to lose everything. He's going to have to go until the end, but the problem is if he starts holding everybody up, the 5-second penalty is going to be really costly for him. And the track's dry, Ewan. The track is dry. Let's watch Darrell. Let's see how Darrell handles the track. It does look really dry though out there. Wow, wow, wow.
But he's gaining no time.
He's not yet, but the tyres are still going to be a little bit cold. He just came out of the pits. He's going to be taking it nice and careful. 5 laps. DRS is enabled, so the track is dry. Wow, Joseph Grima will be kicking himself that he went onto the medium tyres. He's still on those hards. He'd be right at the front of this lot. A driver's going to come in. They're going to stay out on the intermediate tyres. Darrell isn't really gaining, is he? He's not gaining much. Bontobi's going to stay out. That's no surprise. All the drivers are staying out on the intermediate tyres. They've kind of gambled now. And they're going to take the assumption. Yeah, 6 tenths in just in turn 1. This is going to be interesting, Ewan. This is really going to be interesting.
Second already.
It's a big gap, but I just don't know. This is really, really difficult to call here. These two are going to have to work together. Officer Red and Darrell, they're going to have to work together to climb. They don't want to be battling each other. They go 8.2 now is the gap. It was 9 seconds, 9.5 seconds at the beginning of this lap. He's gained 2.5 seconds. He's gained 3 seconds now, in fact. A little bit clip of the curb, but no spin, thankfully. 3 seconds he's gained now. I really don't know. I have no idea how this is going to unfold. A driver's going to come into the pits. They've got to stay out now, you got to think.
Have to.
All the intermediate drivers are staying out. Only one left is Bruce, but it'd be silly to come in. Darrell, 6.5 seconds then.
I think Sab's basically gone. The guy in front of me is not pitting, and he's got 5-second time penalty. Therefore, just relay it onto him. And I think Sab will take this race if he does not pit.
I think you might be right. I don't think those dry runners are going to have time to get all the way up to the front of the field here. They've got a big gap to close. It's not quite closing quick enough. As long as the intermediate drivers just keep it steady, they should be fine, I think.
We say that though, Darrell, in not even 2 laps, nearly 10 seconds.
I think he had about a 9.5 second gap at the beginning of the last lap. And he's got that down to 3 now, so that's 6.5 seconds quicker in 2 laps. He's 14 seconds behind the leader. There is 3 laps left to go. That'll be another 6.5 seconds. I think he's not really going to catch anyone past Bruce Lee Hardin, if I'm honest. I don't think he's got the time. Saying that, JPH has just lost a position. Sab, sorry, has just lost a position, but that one's seen itself out. Nitro with the fastest lap. JPH then going for a move up the inside of Sab. Side by side here. JPH has backed out of that one, I think rightly so. Look, the cars are really struggling on the intermediate tyres. Darrell's going to be eyeing up a move on Bruce Lee Hardin in just a few seconds. but he's going to have to make sure he gets rid of that contact. JPH down the inside and past the Red Bull as well. Bontobi making a mistake. And JPH, who was at the back of the field by 20 seconds, has seen himself in the lead. Darrell is past Bruce then, that one was expected, but all eyes to the front. Sab blazing past the Red Bull of Bontobi. He did have that straight line speed. He's going to be eyeing up JPH on the straight, but Darrell is catching very quickly here. Officer Red has passed Bruce Lee Hardin. Bruce Lee's had a bit of a mare here in terms of strategy. Darrell's got 3 seconds to gain. He's got 2 laps to do it.
I think he can do it.
I think you could be right here, Ewan, and Darrell could be on for an upset of the century here on those front drivers. He's only 2 seconds behind Atsu. You can see them fighting ahead. Atsu going around the outside then of Mikey. They're only going to hold each other up a little bit more and allow Darrell to catch up quicker. Atsu, a brilliant move around the outside. A little bit of contact even, but he's made it through. Has he? He has. He's made it through. The Ferrari past Mikey, but Darrell behind him. Only a second. I really don't know what to think here. Darrell is going to be eager to get past these two. He's got a lap and a half left. He's going to want to get through cleanly. Be mindful that those on those intermediate tyres are going to struggle. So don't do anything stupid, Darrell. Don't let the car behind past either, that's for sure. But he's going to go up the inside here, I'd imagine, of Mikey. He does, although Mikey's going to hold it off, but Darrell will have way better traction out the corner, and that will be the position for Darrell. Atsu then just ahead of him, and then there'll be a 5-second gap. I don't think he's going to catch that on the last lap, Ewan.
You've got to go for it.
He's burnt all his ERS. He's going to look to the inside, I expect, once he's passed. Atsu closing the door. JPH has pulled out 2.5-second gap. He's really finding some pace on those brand new inters. He did pit under that safety car, Ewan, for those newer intermediate tyres, and it looked like to be a good call for him. Darrell's going to get the better exit here, and he will see himself up into P4. It's an interesting one here. Darrell's really gained nor lost from pitting onto the soft tyres, so that's good to see. The 2 inters that did stay out near the back of the field, Bruce Lee did pit in the end. He's on the soft tyres. Maybe he's going to go for a fast lap, although I think he just came out, so that's unlikely. But the gap to watch is going to be Darrell to Bontobi. Bontobi 8 tenths behind Sab, but he does carry that 5-second penalty. In fact, Darrell will be on the podium as it stands, because Bontobi is carrying a 5-second penalty, Ewan.
What a race.
This has been utter chaos. From about lap 1, really. 3 safety cars in the first 13 laps. A bit of rain at lap 13 as well to throw it in the mix. A couple of drivers, Officer Red and JPH, gambling. JPH decided it was the wrong call, but went back in for the drives. He took the inters in the end, and he's going to take the inters to the lead of the race, and I think he's going to win it. A 5-second gap. Those newer inters obviously have got a bit more grip than the older ones. As he comes around the final corner, Darrell is very close to those ahead, but he's not going to catch Sab. But JPH will take the win then, after plenty of misfortune, and he will not be complaining. Sab in second place, his teammate in third behind him, making a good call to go onto the soft tyres. 2 Williams on the podium, something we've not seen for a long time, these two. Both up there together, a little bit of misfortune usually for one of them, but both of them will stand on the podium together. That is great to see, Ewan.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? What a race, Darrell.
He had a spin in qualifying. He had a spin in the race. This came P3, Ewan.
We rarely ever really get to say it to him, because half the time he's ended up in the wall. But what a race, Mr. Whiffen.
It's usually the other way around, isn't it? Commiserations to Darrell Whiffen, but a top 3 for him after a very interesting race. And drive the day to JPH. Now, I don't think I'm going to disagree with that one, Ewan.
No, I think he got a good drive of the day to Darrell.
I don't know. The quali spin was his own fault, and as was the spin in the race. JPH just got caught up in so much crap. He started last, in fact, other than those who didn't set a time. He's won the race, even though he's got caught up in so much rubbish. Either way, a brilliant race from the pair of them. I cannot wait to hear their view of all this action, because it was crazy. JPH then in first place, Sab in second, and the second Williams in third, both on the podium. Officer Red in P4, Nitric Ash in P5, Bonzover, who at one point looked to be walking away with the race after the 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane, which he will be kicking himself over, is in P6. Atsu in P7 then, Mikey in P8, Bruce Lee Harding in P9, managed to get some points in the end. Joseph Grima rounds out the top 10 and the final points, and we have a few DNFs then. Sir Spud, LDR Gamer, Sam Flang, Kerr and Trems in the second lap. What a crazy race.
JPH had 6 pit stops.
And won the race. That's got to be a record in there somewhere. It's got to be. A couple of those were unnecessary. We will gloss over that. And there's got to be a record in there somewhere. There has to be.
If not, we will make one. Wow. I've never seen the like.
Okay, a couple of drivers making their way then into the interview room. We've got Sab in with us, one of the Williams drivers. Hopefully we can get Daryl, his teammate, and JPH in alongside. Daryl is in, just the one more driver then. The race winner, and he is in as well. So let's go to JPH then. JPH, you got caught up in all sorts of mess, but a race win with 6 pit stops. How are you feeling today?
A little bit tired. I mean, so to be honest, this is kind of one of those wins where normally I'd be like, yeah, I've won this, brilliant, but it's a bit of a bitter one because obviously, unfortunately, Bruce got caught up in stuff as well, and it's kind of ruined that sort of top of his sort of like championship lead at the start. So it's not the kind of the way I kind of wanted to win that, if I'm honest. Yeah, bit of a messy race from most of the grid, I think.
Yeah, we saw you caught up in a whole host of incidents. I don't know how many, if any at all, were your fault. I have no idea. It looked like you were a bit of a passenger throughout the night, but a race win, you can't complain too much.
Yeah, I can't complain about it, but yeah, I'm not going to be celebrating it too much. In fact, at all really, because I know others have suffered similar things. It kind of just ruined the race a little bit. I mean, granted, it means championship's closer, but again, it's not the way I wanted it. Especially with Bruce having such a good season so far, it's kind of undone a lot of his work just in just one race. But no, I can't complain. I mean, luckily the setup ended up suiting the weather, even though it wasn't meant for the wet. So yeah, in that respect, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, you win some and you lose some. Unfortunately, it was both for your team, but a win for yourself is always good to see. Any questions, Ewan?
6 pit stops, and you still won the race. Fair play, mate.
Yeah, I mean, 6 pit stops. It was. I mean, I just got very lucky with safety cars, I think, and even on that last stint, I had front wing damage for good measure. So, yeah, it could have been 7 and then no victory, but luckily the car was just about drivable. But yeah, I got lucky tonight. To be fair, I got very lucky.
Regardless, congratulations on the race win. Let's go across to Sab then, who finished second place in the Williams. And Sab, you've really had a bit of a miserable season, so you've got to be jumping at the bits for this race.
Well, what? Double lady. Moon right now. I can't believe it, to be honest. I couldn't believe I got second in qualifying, and I said to Daryl, top 5. If I get top 5 from second, I'll be just as happy. But like I say, it's been a bit of a messy season and struggling here and there. So I thought I was going to have P1. JPH was 2. But yeah, second place is absolutely fantastic. And to have Daryl with me on the podium when he decided to risk it on those soft tyres and come back, it's been a long time coming, to be honest. We've been trying, we keep saying each week, both cars in the points and see how we get on, and it never seems to work properly. But tonight it has, and yeah, it's been fantastic. It was just, from my point of view, I didn't see any of the chaos, thankfully, but yeah, it's just unbelievable for me.
Yeah, it was an interesting one at the end there on that last safety car. A couple of drivers decided to come in for some soft tyres, but a few decided to stay out. Those of you right at the front, it looked like really not a bad call to stay out, but maybe only a couple of positions back, it looked like maybe the drier tyres were the better option.
Yeah, I think they were. How quick on the last lap Daryl caught me and Bon Toby up. I think one more lap Daryl would have second, maybe even pushing JPH. Absolutely flying. So I think we just about got away with it, me and JPH on those Inters tyres, but yeah, I'm not going to complain. And if Daryl had overtaken me, I wouldn't have complained either, because it was my teammate. So it worked out in the end.
Yeah, but a big congratulations to yourself for second place. You really deserved. You were really quick today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Any questions, Ewan?
No, not at all. Well done.
Thank you.
So then we will go to third place. Darrell Whiffen, the second Williams driver, both in the podium. How are you feeling after that race?
Yeah, very happy. I mean, starting P10 and I think maybe about 25 spins and a couple of wings. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to happen. I think at one point I was dead last. So, yeah, when it started raining, I kind of just, I think Sab, I was back near the back and Sab was near the front, and he said that he was told into, so I just quickly dived in and thought, look, I've got nothing to lose, go for it, and it paid off. And then when I went for the softs, to be fair, I only really did it because Sab was in front of me, kind of going for the lead. I was more being a guinea pig for him to see if it worked and see if he should come in, but thankfully I got back up to P4 anyway, so it all worked out well in the end.
Yeah, we were sort of watching. It was a race against the clock. The laps were ticking down and the time was ticking down as well. And we were really wondering whether you're going to be able to catch those front four. We thought you were going to get past Bruce and maybe a car ahead, but those front runners looked like they were a little bit out of touch, but you managed to get up into P3. Yeah,
I mean, to begin with, it's like Sab was saying, you know, let me know if you're catching guys ahead so we could like know whether to pit or not. And I think when I come at that pits, the first car was maybe 9-10 seconds. It wasn't coming down that much. But then maybe a lap or two after that, it was 2 or 3 seconds a lap, and then got Bruce, and I think the two in front were then battling, which obviously helped me get them. Which I needed really, because obviously Red was catching me, so I needed the DRS to kind of build that gap a little bit. And then I knew Bon Toby had the 5-second penalty, so yeah, it was just trying to catch him. And yeah, maybe another lap or two I could have maybe got the win. I don't know how far JPH was ahead, but I can't complain with a podium, especially after the way the season's gone.
No, you've had a very long season, let's say the least. Yeah. A few walls have been renamed over the laps, over the races. But congratulations, Darryl.
Cheers.
Any questions, Ewan?
No, well done.
So then, guys, that will be all we've got time for. The Aston Martin taking the win, but really the standout team were the Williams, a P2 and a P3, both of them on the podium. And a big congratulations to the drivers. I've been Jobson, alongside me, I've been joined with Ewan.
Have a nice night, everyone.